Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and joined with me today are the other three puzzle games that I like to play, starting with the, oh, sorry, you can't go through this door because you need a Jack of Hearts key, and you have the spade key, so you need to go back out to the graveyard, try not to die, get the crank to go get the heart key to get the spade key so you can go through this door. Jared!
What's going on, guys? Armos checking in, and my puzzle game is the whole reason we're doing this in the first place, and it is Blueprints.
Yellow Prince. A Blueprints.
Oh my god. If you haven't played this game and you enjoy puzzle games, it might be the best there is. I have put, let me check Steam real quick, 52 hours since the game came out, and the game came out 120 hours ago, to point out how much time this game has sucked out of my life in the past couple days. It is wonderful. I love it. Can't give it enough recommendations. Dan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I play Minnis PebbleWalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger, and puzzle game I just finished recently that is very reminiscent of Myst is called Quern, Quern. I looked it up. Apparently a quern is like an ancient tool that you would use to grind minerals into dust, into powders. It is like a 7 out of 10 on difficulty. If you're not great at puzzles, maybe like a 15 to 20 hour playthrough, but it took me like 10 hours. It wasn't too bad. So that's my recommendation, Quern. How about you, Alec?
Yeah, my name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashborn, and I don't know if technically this is like a puzzle video game, but I have to say Chain Together.
I consider it.
Obvious, if everyone knows what that is, it's I think up to like 4 people, and they're all chained together, and they have to like climb from hell to heaven, and you can like fall and mess up, and it always ends with you and your friends yelling at each other, and it's a great time. It's a great time.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. What about you, Tony?
I'm going to go with a classic. It's technically action adventure, but the whole game is puzzles. Goof Troop for the Super Nintendo.
I literally had already typed Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Wow.
But Goof Troop will always resonate in my heart. If you never played Goof Troop, some of those puzzles will make you want to pull your hair out. It's a Super Nintendo game. So good. So good. If you like Goofy movie, Max.
Yeah.
Good old Goofy. It's a
Perfect
it's a 2-player game.
This looks hilarious.
Well, what were the playthrough? And with that being said, you know the deal. Before we do the recap, we got to do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by Jared.
All right. If you haven't, go over to patreon.com and check out DND404 for all of the best perks and after shows that we can give you. DND404 Patreon. Give it a look. We have tiers all the way from $2 all the way up to $100, and you get to play with us monthly on that tier. We send out loot boxes every quarter. We have also a $25 tier that we give shout outs to everybody, $10 and up for the shout outs. Give it a try. DND404 Patreon.
We even have a free tier as well. Tony, what do you get with the free tier?
You get free stuff.
Nice.
Damn, there you go.
Check out those free posts. We're not going to tell you what they are. You just got to go and find out.
It's me threatening you every day to drink water. That's pretty much what it is.
No, I'm threatened.
And sometimes I'll sprinkle some D&D stuff in there. No, but there are sometimes they give some free maps, some free monsters when I want to do challenges, when I want to try to maybe share some news or just shed a little bit of light on something that happened in the podcast that I feel I didn't explore or go in depth enough.
Yeah.
In a recent session, I will maybe shed some light on what happened.
Yeah, why is Jack Ball Sinky still alive and Armos hasn't killed him? Let's find out on the free tier.
Oh, you needed him. That's right, because he purified everything.
Debatable.
Wait till we're done with a Christo. You know who we're going for next.
Full circle.
You know what else we're going for? That recap.
Oh, you know the deal. I'm going to go ahead and roll a giant foam D4. Why I'm number 1, 2 is Alec, 3 is Dan, 4 is Jared. Shoot it! Damn it!
Oh, that was nearly in. That was almost a laser shot.
Yeah.
I'll take it if we can see it.
Camera, here we go. Yeah, damn it.
That doesn't help me.
That looks like Jared.
How dare you? Blood shards, Acrylis gems, Bayloon profits. It's like a bad fever dream. We stormed the Ruby Castle, got into it with some blood shard demons. Drell smashed, Minnis shot, I blew stuff up. Typical Tuesday. Now we're just standing at the Observatory of Birth, staring down at even more trouble. Great. Bard, play the intro.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is DND404. Fellas, boyos, welcome to session 134, where you stand in a room known as the Observatory of Birth, which is a big black marble staircase that is spiraling, descending downward, which is hovering over a massive red portal. The red portal is covered with these blue magical arcane chains, symbolizing that the portal is locked somehow. The portal is far off, but the size of a planet. This looks like an important location somewhere deep within the astral plane. And as you look around, as you stand on this, what seems like a infinite staircase of some kind, you don't see any other type of landmass. Just this staircase that descends downward about 150 feet or so. On this platform of these black marble stairs are 4 doors. Each of these doors are on their own platform until you get to the final platform, which is all the way at the bottom. You have this iron dungeony looking door, this beautiful red elven looking door. Then south of that, almost in the middle, which stretches out like a peninsula, is this dark red energy emanating looking door. And then all the way to, let's say, west, at the bottom of the staircase is this wizardly tower that expands forever into the astral plane far above you. As you look out to the endless astral plane, you wonder how you are even breathing here, as there is no signs of life, nearby land masses, or creatures of any kind, as you hear the occasional throwl of space-like wind going through your ears and hair. You look down, and only when you look down at this gate that is bound by arcane chains, you hear a slight whirring, like a humming, constant and unwavering. The more you look at it, the more you notice that occasionally the gate that is behind these chains tries to expand itself, and then the arcane chains contract and keep it in place. This portal looks like a gate to a completely different world. What is going through your minds?
Minnis has barely seen the world, and now he's in a space area.
I mean, this is pretty crazy.
He's getting messed up. What am I looking at, guys? What is this?
I have no idea, as I'm like just looking around, just trying to figure
You're
it out.
the arcane guy. Come on.
Yeah,
Armos. You know this stuff,
this
right?
This is your realm. What do you mean? How do you not know?
Is this literally your realm? Like, are you from this realm?
Ooh, good
No.
question.
No.
Okay.
I'm assuming everything is emanating magic in this place, right?
No, only the center, only the arcane chains, the large chains are wrapped around this portal is the only thing that you sense that's magical.
Minnis peers over the edge of the platform. Oh, God. I don't like this, guys. He's like crawling as he goes step by step down the stairs.
You go towards the stairs and there is no railing. When you approach the side, you could fall off. However, when you go to like get your center of balance, you feel that there is a pull to the platform, as if the platform has its own gravitational pull of some kind. Like it's keeping you there, but you can willingly jump off if you want to. But if you fell, you feel that the staircase would probably do its job and keep you on.
Yeah, Minnis keeps scooching his butt down one step at a time, trying not to look over the edge.
Can I just find something random in my bag and just kind of just throw it over the edge and see what happens?
Sure. What are you throwing over?
I'm looking through my bag real quick. Give me a sec. It's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but I pull out 1 piece of gold and I just throw a piece of gold over.
Love it.
Take out a piece of gold and you go to throw it over the platform. It goes as fast as you can chuck it. The second it breaches into the astral plane and immediately slows down and begins to move like molasses. It keeps continuing forward, but at an incredibly slow pace.
Interesting.
And you feel that like it crossed a threshold, like as if you threw it into water.
Can I try to magic hand it back and see if there's like a magic barrier as well?
You magic hand, and the hand manages to catch the goal before it leaves your range. You're able to pull it back.
Just super slowly.
I put it in my pocket.
You see Reginald is at the edge. He's looking down towards this chained portal far below the staircase.
Guys, come on. I don't want to be here too long.
Okay, let's go.
As Minnis is yelling from the bottom of the first staircase and the second platform with the iron dungeon-looking door. I get closer to the iron dungeon-looking door and investigate it. So
you go up to the iron dungeon-looking door, and it is closed. You get the smell, horrid death from the door. The smell of rotting corpses.
Oh my god.
Careful.
Don't get too close, guys. It doesn't smell great.
That's space wind, man. Woo.
Ooh. You're not wrong.
You know, I've been with a Christo for a long time. I've never been in this place before.
So you don't know anything about any of this? Like what that is? And I point to the kind of the center where the planet is, I guess.
I'm gonna guess. I think that's where Christo's from.
Oh, you mean the big portal coming from Red Shardy Realm? Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, that's the astral gate, I think.
Yeah.
Then what's that? And I point over to the huge like tower that's like just keeps going up and up and up.
I'm not entirely sure where any of these doorways lead. I've never been here before. This is a first for me. Being detached from a Christo for a long time, the castle usually gets redesigned every so often.
Was this like 10-wing demon clearance in this level?
Damn, I didn't get the 10-wing demon. I got the 7-wing. Ugh.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm genuinely asking.
8's the max, okay? You can only get 8 wings, okay?
Okay. I'm genuinely curious.
All right, I'm just saying.
I didn't know.
I'm just saying.
I didn't know.
It's kind of rude. You know that my status was
that is
reset,
kinda rude.
okay?
I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just asking a real question about the hierarchy
No, you don't gotta rub in the rug pull.
I wasn't
Sure.
rubbing it in.
I
You're
don't
the one
really
that got mad
appreciate it.
about
I
it.
don't really
I was
appreciate
asking a
it.
real question.
Can you be clear?
And you see that like Reginald's like walking past you.
Oh my god.
So I lean over to Minnis. I'm like, so it must have been an 8-wing people that comes through here.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm gonna move past this iron door for now. I'm gonna keep going down the stairs until I get to the third platform, all the way on the opposite end of the first platform we came from. I'm gonna look at this red door.
You see this beautiful red coated, looks like it's built from blood shards, but in an elegant fashion. It's not jagged or sharp in any way. You smell sweetness, the scent of flowers, as if there's a garden.
Oh, this one smells great. What the heck? I like this. Smells like home.
And as you examine that gate, the three of you hear large chains moving as if a door is opening, coming from the large tower all the way from the opposite end of the staircase. That large tower that ascends all the way up, a door begins to open. And it echoes and reverberates for seemingly forever as it gets lower and lower and lower, but never quite leaves your shout.
Earshot?
Thank you. Yeah, it never leaves earshot.
I got confused for a second.
Door, as the
I know
doors
what you're
open
saying,
and
yeah.
echo through space.
When I look behind this door, what do I see? Yeah, I'm like holding the edge of the door and kind of leaning a little to see what's behind it.
As you look behind it, you see the other side of the door.
And I kind of come back. Yeah, Drell, you smell that, by the way?
Yeah. It's, I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah.
Should we try to open the door?
I guess. There might be something coming from the tower, by the way.
What's this other door is on the same platform and just like leads out and towards the center, right?
Yes, it's a black gate, solid wood with reinforced steel, and then you see the base of it is built off dark blood shards.
I like this door.
Maybe that's like the last door we go through.
I'm gonna
Oh,
We're
shit.
gonna check out the tower real quick before we decide anything.
Before Minnis gets down, Armos has like a eerie feeling. He's gonna cast Armor of
Agathis.
Agathis?
Agathis. Yay! Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna give myself 25 temporary HP.
Almost when you look at these gates, you see this language.
I can comprehend languages.
You can comprehend languages, but you know this language because of your pact with a Christo. There is no name to this language. And as mentioned before, when you read it, it's not a direct translation. It's the best way you could describe it in common. So when you look at that gate on the platform, the one that you thought that looks cool, that one said Throne of Creation.
This says Throne of Creation. Interesting.
Thanks for translating that, Armos.
Yes. Yes. Thanks, Armos.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is the door right here. Throne of Creation? Creation. Yes. Reginald, what do you think? That's what that says, right? Let me send it out again.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Throne of Creation. I was right. All right, and then I mosey on over to the good smelling door. Do I see anything on here? And I start looking around.
You see it on each of these doors.
Oh.
The elven looking door that is made of complete blood shards and looks very elegant and nice says Garden of Victories.
Garden of Victories.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
I mean,
Nothing's probably fun here, but it sounds fun.
Yeah.
Throne of Creation. Garden of Victories. I mean, you know.
Did the iron one say anything, Armos?
Let me go look, and I jump 3 steps at a time in long bounds to make it back up the stairs.
This one seems straightforward. As you read it off, it just says Maddening Dungeon.
Maddening Dungeon. Guys, I think I start running down the stairs. I think Throne of the Creation is the best one. Like, that's a maddening dungeon? I don't want to go there.
This one's about victory. We just win.
Yeah. True.
Wait, we're in a different spot. Reginald, do you guys have a thing called Opposite Day?
We don't really have day cycles here.
No?
No, it's just kind of one long sequence of suffering.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't sound fun.
For not us. I mean, it's pretty great for us.
So just curious, does the 7-winged demon possibly know about any of these things, or is that like 8 demons up? 8-winged demons up.
Okay, you're really starting to poke the bear here, and I really don't appreciate it.
Oh.
Armos, let's check out this tower.
I gave away my wings to assist you. I want this over. I'm tired of being a bound creature to the sadistic monster.
Well, don't talk about Armos like that.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I've done so much for you. Do you know how many hands
I'm
I've
talking
fed
about you.
Oh, well. All right, jeez, don't yell at us.
Yeah, right? I thought I was giving you quite a bit of hands. And
The door that opened, the one that looks like a wizard tower that ascends high into the astral plane, reads Tower of Academia, Memories, and Conquest. And this door is open, and inside looks like a large black marble spiral staircase.
This looks kind of important.
I mean,
Okay, fine. We can go to that. Your guys'
whoa.
As Drell starts
Hold
walking
on.
back.
Let's. Did we flip for it? Maybe we flip for it. Come on. I mean,
What if we split up and all go into different ones?
Maybe not
Thoughts?
the right way.
Straight up, no. Not doing that.
Okay. Jeez, man.
I'm sorry. I'm a little. I'm getting a little nervous here, Drell. Maybe we could take some demons on our own, but don't want to risk it.
Wait, didn't you just almost die in that last little situation, just getting in the door? And I look at Drell
No. Looks around.
as his arm's in a sling currently.
It's not a sling. This is a hammock for my arm because it's tired. Anyways, all right, fine. Let's go in this one.
But I mean, we got
Oh
those
my
other
God.
2 doors.
Just pick one.
Heads, we go this way.
Drell starts immediately walking into the exploring tower of Academia.
But what about tails? And I flip it. It was heads anyways, and Armos just moseys in behind him.
I appreciate the effort, Armos.
And this staircase goes on for a while, or at least it seems like it does, as you look up, as you climb this spiral staircase. And you see that as you climb it, a little bit of time passes. You begin to get a little winded. As you keep climbing, you look down, you feel like you've gone for miles. You look up and you feel like there's so much more to go. But what sticks out is that the staircase changes shape as you ascend to it. This staircase becomes narrow, then seems like it forever expands, as if it's warping as you ascend it. The three of you also begin to look oddly shaped as you do it, kind of like a fun house of mirrors. Minnis becomes tall and slender as Drell becomes short and stubby, and then vice versa. As you begin to ascend, it begins to play tricks on your eyes.
So this is what it feels like to be Minnis. And I look around super short.
Yeah.
You continue to ascend this staircase, and you come to the top. You are met with a brilliant bluish purple marble room, adorned with statues that are melded into the wall. All the statues around this room are engraved into the wall, each depicting unique people and unique designs. Along the wall of this tower room is a purple and bluish marble staircase that ascends through the wall, which looks like it leads to a bridge. And at the top of that bridge is another door, which looks like it leads to another room. You look up into the ceiling and you see the whole roof is made out of stained glass. And through the stained glass is the giant bluish tealish moon looking down on you, illuminating this whole room. The room itself seems pretty empty other than the statues that are erected in the center of the room. It looks like the whole point of this is like a giant entrance with this massive staircase that rides up against the wall, which leads to a stone bridge, which looks like it enters into another room. What are the three of you doing?
Armos goes and looks at all the statues, worried that there's some trickery going on, and with his witch sight, he can see through and see if they're, disguised as something else, and just squinty-eyed at everything that looks like it could have some kind of humanoid features.
With your witch sight, you still see a statue in place. You see an elven ranger, and you see the name Selene Moonwhisper. Although it's just a stone statue, it looks very heroic. The armor looks well adorned. They look powerful in stature. They have a very unique blade and a very, very ornate stone bow.
Drell wants to walk south towards one of the statues.
Drell, you look at your statue and you see the name engraved, Tharic Stonefist, which is a dwarf. He looks like a fighter, similar to your build, but incredibly short. You look at the statue, he's wielding two axes. Each axe looks very unique in their own way. He has a crazy long beard. He has these two mighty pauldrons that look like they're made out of dragon scales.
Or am I still looking weird, short and stubby, or?
No. All that was an optical illusion of the staircase.
Oh, okay.
Didn't affect your character at all.
Got it.
The statues that you see in the middle of the room look like tributes to heroes.
And there's only 3 of them, or is there some along every?
There's 3 in
point
the
of
room,
wall?
and there's all these statues engraved into the wall that follow the staircase that's descending upward. And the staircase wraps around what seems like the whole room until it reaches a stone bridge, which heads north.
Yeah, Minnis goes to check on the other statue at the southeast part of the room.
That one looks like a human, Borin Greaves. Similar to the others, their armor looks very unique, very holy, and it would stand out amongst other cavalry-like men. It looks like he's dressed for war, has a very nice mace, or a depiction of a very nice mace, with a very large tome in his other hand, and he looks like he's in a battle-like stance.
It looks like there are other stone carvings along the wall. I'm going to check those out and see if there's anything of note there.
Is there any that seem out of place, that just from is one evil, or maybe one that just is showing a lot different features than maybe the other ones, or more elaborate or something along those lines?
Make me an investigation check or a deception check.
Can I do the same?
Sure.
22 for Minnis.
19.
Minnis, you start to notice that as you're looking at all these different statues that are engraved into these walls and are erected in the room, they just look like tributes. They all look fascinating in their own way. They all look brilliantly made, very excellent craftsmanship, but they look like heroes that you would see in your world, or some of them seem a little out there, like some of them have different funny shaped ears, elongated foreheads, some that you may have not have seen in Humbrea, which seem otherworldly, given where you are. You just came from the astral plane. You get the sense that perhaps there are heroes other than yours in Humbrea, in other worlds. And these all look like just tributes to them. The bigger the statues in the center look like they have more significance. However, the functionality of them are just there to be admired.
Minnis is daydreaming. He's like, one day I will have a statue of my own like you guys.
I just want to do one last thing. Can I do a history check to see if I've ever heard of any of these people?
Sure.
16.
None of these names ring a bell to you.
None of these names ring a bell to me.
Me neither, Drell. Is this significant in the northeast part of the room, DM?
You look at a statue in the northeast part of the room, and this one looks more tribal. This one, rather than referring to a person, refers to a clan of people.
Do I read the clan name?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was looking up the name. Cinder Talons.
Gotcha. Guys, this could be a group.
What do you mean?
So it looks like there's a shrine or at least a carving that represents a tribe maybe, or some sort of coalition. I don't know. They're called the Cinder Talons. Ring a bell to anybody? Not for me.
No. Never heard of it.
And is it just a name in a crest, or is it like actual, like a bunch of them?
You just see Clan Cinder Talons.
Oh, it does.
Clan colon Cinder Talons.
Oh, they have colons in this clan. This is a well-studied clan. And none of the statues around the walls had names?
They all have the name, but from your 22, you were like looking at these as you were looking at the ones in the middle of the room. They all have their own names, and that's when you made the connection that these are admiring people. These names may not have any significance. Basically, you don't have to write each one of these names down. They're showing that they're important for some reason, as if they're being admired or remembered in this room.
Not remembered very well if we don't get their names. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, nowhere to go but up, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, keep on your toes. I don't trust this.
I guess can I do a search for traps as I look towards the
Give me,
walls coming up?
Investigation or perception, depending on how you're looking for traps.
I guess perception to look along the walls to see if there are any instruments that might be installed into the statues, or if there's anything along the steps, like wires or things that could
Make the roll.
give us harm. That's going to be a 16.
Seemingly so, you don't find any traps.
All right, guys, looks good. I continue walking forward, looking at the statues as I go.
As the three of you ascend this blue-purple marble staircase, heading to the bridge that overlooks the room, which looks like it goes into another room, don't worry. I'm just going to have each of you roll an initiative.
Huh?
Got a 5.
19.
Drell got a dirty 20. I'll lead the way.
As you reach this bridge and you look down into the room and you look back up at the moon, I'm going to have each of you roll me a history check.
My favorite check.
Nat 20.
Wow. Nat 20!
Whoa! Come on, Armos!
A 24.
All right, this is better than my nat 20, even though it's a
But
nat 20.
is it a natural 20? Man, imagine getting 3 in a row. That would be sweet.
That's actually pretty ridiculous. I like that the two guys that are terrible at history got nat 20s.
Yeah, I literally add 0.
-1 for me.
Oh, nice.
Plus 9.
Plus 9. That's ridiculous.
There was no pass or fail. I just needed a number.
Of course there wasn't when we did really well, huh?
There was no pass or fail.
Damn it.
Drell, as you look up at the moon through the stained glass, walking along this bridge, and as you look at the statue of heroes that are below you, you get a vision of your younger self, a memory, a flashback, a memory that you may have forgotten. It was when you were younger, a young adult, back in North Trillis, when you were out on a hunt. Now, you've had a couple of hunts under your belt. As you are traveling through the snow, you have a very heavily used axe, but it still gets the job done. And you're face to face with this large snow tiger. Large tiger with white fur, dark purple stripes, and long fangs. And you two have been exchanging blows for some time. And it looks like a pretty evenly matched fight. You're not the experienced fighter as you are now, but you are learning. If you are out on a test or a hunt, you're not sure of the reason why you're in this fight with this tiger. And during the fight, as you continue to exchange blows, a Yeti had intervened and attacked the tiger when it least expecting it, killing the tiger on impact.
What?
You know that these Yetis are very savage in your area and not to be trifled with. Young adventurers tend to stay away from these until they're more experienced, but not you. You stand your ground, and after exchanging devastating blows, you come back with a broken arm, some wounds,
but the Yeti's mantle in hand, and the tribe celebrates. This is one of your very early victories as a young Drell. And you come to, you're now somewhere completely different.
Okay.
You find yourself in this chapel-like room, sandstone marble floors with statues all around. It seems like a small chapel or keep of some kind. You look down and you have your axe in your hand. It is bloodied. You look on your chest as you took 10 points of damage in the blink of an eye, as you see a wound over on your arm, and face to face with you is this large guardian blood-shard demon, and it is advancing towards you. You are suddenly in the middle of combat, and we're going to switch over to Minnis. Minnis, you're a natural 20. As you look at the moon, gaze at the hero of the statues, you get a flashback as well. You have a memory of you and your father Titus. It's a recent sadder moment before you left of him ignoring you and belittling you.
Of course.
He's belittling you of a bad idea that you had pitched. Thinking back, it was a bad idea. However, how it was treated wasn't kind at all. What could have been a great teaching moment for you turned into just another moment of embarrassment between him and fellow tribe council members. And this is a moment that particularly stands out. It's a moment that you had forgotten or tried to bury, but you're suddenly remembering it now for some reason. You find yourself suddenly in a room that looks like a library with confusing maze-like halls of books. Looks like you're in an archive of some kind. The floor looks like this well-decorated wooden floor. Very nice. The books seem well in order. The bookshelves go as high as the ceiling. The ceiling is about 80 feet tall, and it looks like each of these bookshelves extend all the way to the ceiling with rows of books, towering and pathing out like a maze. Armos, 24. All rolled pretty high. You look at the moon, you look at the statues, you get a flashback. You are attending in your former years, in your early plotting stages. You have infiltrated a cult, what you now know is the Red Dawn. However, the name Red Dawn didn't really mean anything to you in this moment. You're there at a cultist meeting, which you now realize is a low-level meeting, trying to gather information. The conversations you hear bear no interest because the information you're looking for is not being discussed, and it feels like a waste of time to you, and you hear a name being said several times in various conversations, but you chose to ignore it. You can roll me another history check now to see if you recall that name.
Oh, yeah.
With a DC 15.
On a history check?
6 or higher. Easy.
19.
You hear the name Namiris. At the time you scoff at this name, it is no one of importance. It's somebody that is not worth your time during this meeting, but it was a name that was being discussed. As you come to, you have heard that name before. Matter of fact, it's one of the prophets. As you know, is the Elven prophet, the first prophet of Vanan. You find yourself somewhere different.
Here we go.
You find yourself in an archive with towering books spanning high, all the way up to the ceiling. These books are neatly organized. They're in size order, color order, but you find yourself in a corner of this library with 2 statues, and in front of you is a long mirror, tall mirror, and you see your reflection. However, there is a bit of fog shaping around the mirror as you look at it. And we're gonna go back up to initiative 20 as Drell's fighting a guardian Bailu demon coming down with a mighty blood-shard greatsword, and he is going to roll to attack as he slashes down with 3 ferocious attacks. With a 19 to miss. Ooh, luckily another 20 to miss. Do you have a reaction to either of those?
I do. I'm gonna burn a superiority die to riposte the attack.
Go ahead and roll a hit.
Nice. That's gonna be 17.
17.
That is 26 points of damage. Forgot to roll the superiority die.
Hey, listen, every number counts. As he comes down with a 3rd attack, that's gonna be a 27 to hit.
Oh, that's why he asked for my reaction. He fucking baited me.
Oh no, I know you can riposte on misses, so I was just making sure.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay, so yeah, 27 hits.
As he's going to deal
21 points of magical slashing damage to you as he comes down, going to your initiative.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to counter with 3 more attacks. It's a dirty 31.
Dirty 31. Nice. Okay, that hits.
There you go. That is a 16 to hit.
16 misses.
Dirty 33. 38 points of damage.
You relentlessly attack onto him. You see that he takes a step back from those relentless attacks as you are full of anger, might,
outta here.
rage.
Leave me alone.
And you two of you continue to clash blows as you go to Minnis. Minnis, you are currently in this maze of books.
First thing I'm gonna do is just shout, guys, where are you? Can you hear me? Do any of them hear me?
Can I hear him?
Almost, you can hear Minnis, but he sounds very far away.
Minnis!
I don't hear him.
Drell, you do not hear him.
Can I sense the direction that
I'm over here!
Armos is coming from? When he yells?
Perception.
Not 20.
Ooh, yeah, you get the direction. You feel like, so once again, for map purposes, you feel like he's southeast.
Yeah, it's still a maze to me, so it's gonna be hard regardless. Using a dash action, of course, I go 30 feet, 35, 40. I make it my full 70 feet to the southeast, and I don't know if I can see Armos from where I am.
You see that this wall of books is blocking your view.
Armos?
I Eldritch Blast in the way of where the steps are coming from, just not believing that it's Minnis.
Between this tight fitting between 2 bookshelves, you do see Armos in the corner of this room. It looks like he squeezed himself through the bookshelf somehow.
I don't have any bonus actions that'll really help me here, so I'm just gonna shout through to Armos. Armos, can you get through here? What's going on over there?
No idea.
All right, let's try and figure it out as I end my turn and let him do what he needs to do.
Yeah, as I start to reply, I turn around and see everything behind me.
Armos, you look through and you see Minnis, and that looks like the way you came in. It looks like you squeezed through. It's a very tight fit. You're not even sure how you found it with how narrow it looks, especially for the fact that you've never been here. You look around and looks like there's nowhere else for you to go. But in front of you, you see these 2 very large statues and a mirror. And in the mirror, you see yourself. And Reginald's like, ugh, oh my God, this mirror is making me look. You see Reginald for Reginald. Reginald sees, he's like, ugh, I don't like being white fur. It's weird.
White fur.
So white. I have blue eyes. You see, like, he's like examining himself. He's like stretching his eyes out. You look into the mirror and you see yourself. But you do not see the demonic version of yourself. You see the normal self, but you are dressed very differently. You're very well dressed. You look like a scholar. You have large tomes, and the tomes do not look corrupted, and you're smiling.
No, something's wrong with this mirror. Nah, I don't like this.
Looks like
I
you're
don't like
looking
this
at
at
an
all.
alternate version of yourself.
Ugh, I hate it. And I start backing up.
I look good in black, but I never thought I'd wear so much of it. You see that the Armos in the mirror is now talking to you.
Ah,
He's looking at how you're dressed. How do you do that with your horns? Quite strange. I like it.
what's happening
Who
here?
are you talking to? Do you have another friend?
I think it's myself as I shout over to
I
Minnis.
believe I'm talking to myself, but an alternate reality version of myself.
All right, I gotta ask you something that only I would know.
I gotta ask you questions first.
Who's this? And I hold up
Whoa.
Reginald.
No, I ask the questions here.
Okay, first off, look at you.
Look at me.
I'm asking the questions.
I don't know who you think you are, but I'm gonna be the one asking the questions here.
Oh, 2 Armoses together is bad
Look
news.
here, you.
No.
You with your
I ain't
books?
looking nowhere. I see you.
You with your books, and I
can
hold
see-
up my book. Do you see this? This is the means that I go first.
He holds up the book and it says Strixhaven on it. It's like, I have ascended levels of scholarship that you would never understand. I have gained power that only the strongest of wizards can attain. I am about to be trifled with.
I have defeated demons and gods.
I have summoned
I go
stages from the
first,
heavens.
Guys, I don't know if we have time for this. Maybe like flip a coin
Oh,
or something. Maybe.
yeah. I reach in my pocket, pull out Drell's coin, call it in the air, and I flip it and I grab it and then put it on my hand. And I'm literally gonna do it in Google.
Hold on, let me see that coin. That's a fake coin. And you see that the Armos in the mirror extends his hand.
All right, shiny side or scratch side, and then I flip it.
He called the opposite. So whatever it's showing, he called the opposite side of it.
You picked the scratch side. See, look at that. It was the shiny side. So I go first. I win. Woo!
You're winning the conversation, Armos. Good job.
That's right.
Good
That's
job.
right. See, he knows. and I point to myself.
Proud of you, buddy.
Who's over there?
My snout like pushes through the crack.
Yeah, you should know this.
Name's Minnis. Nice to meet you, other Armos.
As Minnis, we're gonna go back to Drell as he is currently clashing as two blades are connecting as Drell's fighting for his life. As the metal begins to grind on the bloodshot blade and the demon is roaring in his face. The demon is going to break the connection and try to attack down on Drell with a 22 to miss, a 28 to hit, and a nat 1.
Okay. I'm gonna use my reaction for the dragon's tail to try to increase my AC. So I need to roll D8 and it needs to be a 6 or higher. And that's a 3.
Yep, so that's gonna beat it as you take 22 points of slashing damage. Magical slashing damage. You may take an attack.
So I'm just gonna continue with 3 attacks. That is a 29 to hit. This is a 25 to hit. And a 17 to hit.
Hits on the money.
Okay, this guy is kind of fucking me up here. I'm gonna try one more thing. And that is going to be 73 damage.
Nice. As you take your action, you cleave it into his body as you seemingly like shove it so far deep that it takes a minute to pull it out. It takes a good part of your strength as it roars in pain as we move back to initiative 19 minutes.
Actually, technically, I still.
Oh yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your
So
turn?
it's still my turn. I would like the bonus action consume a potion of greater healing. Thank you. 14 HP back.
14 minutes. As we go back to your turn, you find yourself as you're trying to like sneak through to get to where Armos is, squeeze through the bookshelves. As you stick your hand through, you get your mind slips to another memory. Go ahead and give me a history check.
6.
You have a pleasant memory of when you were younger. You're sitting in your high chair, small Minnis, smelling the sweet, sweet scent of your mother's cookies. It's a good day. It's a rainy day for you. You hear the pitter-patter of rain coming and tapping onto the window as your mother just takes out a fresh batch of your favorite cookies. You are a young Minotaur here, and you just remember this fondly. As you snap back, you are no longer in that spot. As a matter of fact, instead, you're in front of a table, and the table has several books on it. And you look like you have a book in your hand, as you looks like you were trying to investigate it as it's something with notes.
Yeah, like as I reached into the room Armos was in, I all of a sudden feel the book in my hand. I'm like, oh, guys! And I look down. What am I looking at? What kind of book am I holding?
You are holding a book, and the book is labeled A Key to Conquest.
I'm gonna shove it in my pack, and I'm gonna shout out one more time. Guys, can you hear me?
You get no response.
Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. As I'm creeping through the hallway, I go about 35 feet to the northeast.
As you go 35 feet to the northeast, you see this massive fireplace. It provides no warmth. You don't hear the crackling of flames. It looks like it's there purely for aesthetic. And you get the sense that it's lighting the room. It's lighting the whole room. How it's going through the walls, that you're not sure of.
I don't think there's much I can do here. And I just pull out that book and I'll like plop down against one of the bookshelves and start reading it. Maybe if I just stay here, the guys will be back soon.
So as you look at the book, you open the book out, and it's written in a language you don't understand. And it feels slimy in a way. But as you flip through a couple of pages, there is something hollowed. And it looks like the pages were cut out to contain an item. And you take out this blood shard in the shape of a key.
Oh,
yeah.
that's probably important. You stay there, bloodshot key, and I close the book and put it in my pack.
Armos, as you're seemingly arguing with yourself, go ahead and roll me a history check.
I got a 29 and that 20.
20! Natural 20. You find yourself back in your former years. You're in this tiny hovel, which looks like a place that like a hideout that you used to use. One of the many in the city of Thalor when it was still around. As you flip through the books by candlelight, you find this summoning circle. In the summoning circle, you begin to investigate as it's supposed to summon from summon a demon from a realm that you're not familiar with, the realm of Bayloon. And as you summon this demon, you realize that it starts to attack you and slash, and it gets a couple of chips in your horns, and from your horns you begin to bleed from them as they splinter out. And then a few days pass from that event. After you're able to stave off the demon, you notice that your horns had a very visceral reaction to the wounds, and they look like the wounds. The horns now look like the horns you currently have in this castle, where they're all splintered out and they look much more demonic. It looks like it inflicted you with something. And then a few more days pass, and you're able to cure this ailment. This provided you with some very important information on how to proceed when dealing with these ravaging bloody demons. Find yourself back in the entrance next to a very well-dressed Armos as you're looking at statues. Well, you see, this one here, this is a very heroic gentleman. He was able to travel all across his world where he was from point A to point B without even looking at a map. As a matter of fact, some say he was blessed by the goddess of navigation herself. That's right, he was able to use the astral signs to navigate over the far ends.
And I just come to as I come into the middle of that conversation. Wait, what? I told you, what is going on here?
What do you mean what's going on? You pulled me out of the mirror.
Did no such thing. There's no way.
You did. We had a very enlightening conversation. We played a few games of heads or tails. Your coin, not mine, yours. And then you agreed to pull me out because you had questions about this room. And here we are.
I don't care about this room. I want to know what your
You came out
deal
of this room
is.
30 seconds ago, which is why we're here.
What is happening?
I'm explaining to you the heroes. You want to know about these heroes, so now I'm here to explain the heroes.
I don't care about these heroes. I want to know where you're from.
You are freaking me out.
Where are you from? Where is And I try to grab him. I don't know if I can. And I try to get real close to him, and I'm like, where's Layla?
Who is Layla? Get off me. In disgust, he removes your hands.
He has to take a lap. There's no way that you're me. There's no way.
We've established that I am you, arguably a better version, as he points to you as you begin to walk around the room. But what are you doing on your turn?
I'm curious if there's something I could cast that I could So when I grabbed him, he is actually physical at this point. I pulled him through the mirror. Seems like things are...
He told you pulled him through the mirror. You don't remember doing that.
Yeah. Yep. I want to ask him where he's from, and when he replies, I'd like to do kind of deception or see if he's lying.
That would be an insight check.
Ugh.
From Humbrea. I live in Thalor.
9.
He's telling the truth. Armos, he seems like someone who minds his own business.
Don't you even start with me. And I start yelling at Reginald at this point. How does he not know Layla?
Who's Layla?
I hate this version of me, and I look at Reginald, I'm like, I hate this guy. Reginald, I need one person to just give me a nod yes, and he's gone. I guess that's my turn. I can't think of anything just off the top of my head of what to do other than ask him a question.
I mean, you can still ask him a question. I'll allow one more question.
What, does he still have the books that he was carrying?
He has his tome, yeah. But it's a wizardly tome. It's a book of spells, not demonic in any way. It looks like it has it's like Strixhaven book of spells, and it has a class on it. Yeah.
God, you're not a warlock? Oh,
Ugh.
no.
I wouldn't touch that filth.
Oh, no.
Ugh. Imagine borrowing power from something? Ugh.
Armos is on the verge of throwing up. This is my nightmare. There's no way you're real. There's no way that this would happen.
I feel like I'm in a nightmare of some kind. You look like there was that one time where I was offered very hard magical powder and I turned it down because I feel like it wasn't good for me. And I feel like you would be the version if I took that magical powder, and then this is where my life would have ended up.
Look, that's neither here nor there about the magic powder, okay? What all I know is that there's no way in hell I became you, or you became me, or you're a part of me. There's no way. And I'll think of something for my next turn, but I can't think of anything right now.
And then from there, we're gonna go back to Drell's initiative. Drell, give me a history check, please.
That's a net 1.
You have a pleasant memory of when you were really young. Memory with your mother. It seems like it's so far off that naturally you would have forgotten about this, because you just would have grown out of this memory by now. You feel like you were 2 or 3 years old and you had a stick in your hand and you were pretending to fight monsters. And your mother was cheering you on, teaching you how to hold the stick as if it was a giant sword, or teaching you how to use it as a spear. And you remember this as a fond, happy moment in your life as you were spending some quality time with your mother. And then you come to, and you find yourself on this black obelisk pedestal connected to a wooden bridge just outside of this chapel-like room that you were fighting a demon in. In your hand is a large blood shard from the monster. You look back into the room as you come to, and the monster is dead. You notice that you are significantly out of breath. Please remove 62 points of health.
Oof.
You feel like an entire fight has occurred as the demon is dead in the other room. You look outside and you see on this black pedestal that you see this chapel behind you, bigger than a tavern, smaller than like a keep. And the water around you looks like red oil, thick, murky blood. And it looks like it's pouring in from various cracks of the wall from the tower that you're in. Above you, standing on this obelisk, you look up and you see this giant bluish teal moon looking through some stained glass. You feel like you're outside as you just came from a room within a room, but you come to the realization that you're still in this tower of some kind, in a room that is assimilating a different environment. You're holding a blood shard, and you realize that for the moment, you were going to use the blood shard as if you were trying to crack it or absorb it of some kind, and you snap to just before that moment.
I guess I want to look around and see, is there anything, like, does it look like I was going to use it for like a certain reason, or is anything around me that's like sticking out? Or
the purpose of you using the blood shard was you felt like for a moment it was going to make you feel better, and you came to the realization that it wouldn't, and that's when you had snapped back in. You feel like you crossed this bridge to look around, but you were lured to the moon through the stained glass. You feel like after a tough fight, you wanted to get some fresh air, but instead are met with this disgusting, murky, oily blood water that surrounds the chapel around you.
Okay, I think what I'll do is I will then make my way, after doing one final, double take of the area, I'll make my way back into the chapel.
Okay, you walk back in.
I'll come back in the chapel, and then I'm gonna head east, and I'm gonna like up against one of the walls where I thought I saw like a door earlier, and I'm gonna try to investigate it.
You look at this doorway between two ruby red statues, and the statues look like brains, and attached to the brains are bodies, a creature you've never seen before. And you go to try to open the door, and it's locked. In the center is a keyhole. It looks very strange. However, it is adorned red. You see a similar style door just to the south of you in the same room. You look behind you. It is also locked. However, this door is adorned. It does not have a keyhole of any kind. It looks like just a door that is completely flat and shut closed.
Can I try to break this door down? The one with the two ruby statues out in front?
Well, how are you going to break it down? You're going to use your axe? Or you're going to try to rip it off its hinges?
I'm going to just try to ram into it and see if I can like break the hinge and just bust the door open. That's a 7.
Not only does it fail, you feel a magical pushback.
Okay. Drell's gonna ponder his next move while drinking another potion of greater healing.
Go ahead, drink that potion. As we move back to Minnis.
Heyo.
Minnis, roll me a history check.
Sure. Nat 20.
Oh, wow.
Heck at it. Didn't think Minnis would be getting nat 20s twice on history checks.
No.
What in the world?
This is great. You have another flashback to you and your father, but you are younger than is here. You are a child. And it's you working with Titus, but Titus does not seem annoyed with you at all. You have forgotten this memory, as it is actually a pleasant one with your father. It's you two working on something on a workbench. It looks like you're trying to make various tools and equipment. It looks like he's teaching you and giving you advice on how to hunt and track things, small game. It looks like you're building a sling. Thinking back, this is probably where you've got your interest for using slings, but had forgotten where the origin was from. And as you relive this memory, you feel like you're watching it or thinking about it for the first time, as if you're experiencing it for the first time. You think you would have this memory as a fond one. Where did it go south between you and your father? Because You certainly don't remember moments like this, only moments like this with you and your mother. And then you come back to, and you are holding this blood shard key in a completely different room on this black stained floor covered in red bloody roots. The sound of growing vines, ripping flesh, and warbles of an egg towering before you with an ominous hum emanating from the egg sac. Sitting on a pedestal, a nest of large pylon-like blood shards. You see a massive egg that you can see through. It is translucent. You see tentacles coming out from the base of the egg. And you see inside the egg, the embryo has multiple dragon-like heads.
Guys?
You look down, you have blood all over your hands. You see that these red roots are trying to grab you, but you had ripped them off
Here, guys.
before snapping to, and you have this red blood shard key in your hand.
Put this back in the book. I thought I put that in there. Why is it? Okay. So it's gotta be a pretty mean bad dragon, right?
Meh, meh,
Yeah.
meh. And he's making like symbols, like he's pointing to your ears. Meh, meh.
Okay, and I like stuff some cotton in my ears.
You still
back.
hear this hum.
All right, let's put the helmet on. And I put the helmet on that I got in San Leo.
Everything goes silent from a low piercing hum to complete silence, to a roar, to complete silence. You suddenly get a flashback to everything you've done. You know how you went from room to room. You helped Armos leave the mirror. You had helped Armos pull other Armos out of that mirror. You have determined that he is Armos from an alternate reality of what his life could have been, to the moments that if he did different choices and was learning a different school of magic. You also learned that Layla doesn't exist in this world. He actually has a cat.
Armos, go with this, Armos. I'm gonna investigate the library.
As you're looking through the library, you're going through books, from this conquest book to learning,
No, not
going
that.
through all these
Useless.
different books about
What is
illithids, creatures, dragons, hydras. You are standing in front of a false hydra egg.
Okay. Bad news. Bad news. Right, Sid? Bad news.
Meh.
Not
And
good.
the city's just pointing at it, not making any sound because you can't hear.
All right. Bye-bye, egg. And I'm gonna cast a second level, let's say a third level, guiding bolt on the egg. Do I get advantage to hit it because it's just sitting there?
Yes.
That's gonna be 25 to hit, as it takes 22 points of radiant damage.
As it takes 22 points of radiant damage, we're going to go ahead and move to initiative 5. Armos, as you are just having a conversation, go ahead and roll me another history check.
12. I think it's crazy that that's the lowest history check. I have a plus 9.
Armos, you think back to a memory of you and Layla, where you are having a pleasant day. You are actually teaching Layla a new trick as a puppy, specifically on how to guard and when to attack. You are handing her treats, and it is a relatively good day for you. It's a fond memory you have of Layla that you seem to have forgotten. And as you come back to, you find yourself, you and this mirror version of yourself, on top of the bridge in the initial room, shooting various blasts. You're shooting Eldritch blasts, and he is shooting firebolts. All these little tiny blood shard demons that are completely covering the room as they're trying to make a bum rush towards you. They're trying to jump up, they're climbing on the walls, and you're blasting them away with ease, but there are so many. And you're just shooting Eldritch blasts left and right, and they are scattered throughout the room, and they are trying to jump up to where you are, and the two of you are using the bridge as the vantage point to get to stay away from danger. You have taken 23 points of piercing damage. As you come through, you realize that you have been stabbed several times from these blood shard minions getting jump on you. And these look like little tiny blood shards with arms and legs. Almost as if Sid could be a blood shard, that's what these things would look like. You know, very small and very tiny.
As I come to, all right, there's absolutely something going on, and I just keep shooting in between as I'm talking. I just got here. I literally snapped. Boom, I'm back here. Too much to talk about right now, but what is happening? You would know, or I'm gonna know.
Fireballs, that's right. You have been casting your chaotic blasts and, quite frankly, dirty magic at these demons alongside me for the last 20 minutes.
Every time I think I got the situation figured out, throw a curveball at me. I want to, there's a door to the north. I want to run to that door.
Yes, we should go back to the archive. That is a brilliant idea. And yeah, if you make a dash action, you can make it.
I'd like to try to open the door and then kind of like shut it right behind me.
As you run through and able to shut the door. And you wait a few moments as you shut the door to try to barricade it shut. You hear all these on the door, as if the Bloodshard demons are trying to get in.
I'll cast. Oh wait, do I still have it? I don't have it anymore. No, don't have lock anymore. Damn it.
You see that the good Armos, the other Armos, looks at you. At least you're able to hold your own. At least it's some. Even if I did take the wrong choices in life, at least I'm still able to hold my own in that of the arcade, despite how dirty the magic you use is.
Like, I'm still like not sold on who the heck this is, even though it seems like he's the good one. I'll be like, here, hold this door. I gotta, and I like, as he starts to hold the door, I start reaching into my pocket. And when I'm slightly out of eyesight, or like, you know, behind him to where he's not looking, I don't know if I can do this. So if I can, cool. If not, it's okay. I would like to hex him, like, without him knowing. Like, with hex, it's only when I do damage does it kind of show. I don't know if it actually would, like, I don't know if they would know that they're hexed. The only thing that I'm trying to get out of the benefit of it is to have him cast, or like have him at disadvantage of an ability.
So go ahead and do an Arcana check as you try to manipulate this spell to try to cast it quietly. 17. You rolled a 21. As he turns around, he's like, and as he waves his hand, the tome flies open for the exact spell he's trying to cast. Don't touch me with your cultist magic. Dirty, disrespectful. Imagine if you applied yourself.
See, there's a moment when we were talking that I just didn't feel right. And it was the moment that you had as much anger in you that I have when we were arguing. And I find that a little peculiar because I remember myself as a pretty happy-go-lucky until the travesty happened to me. And I get real close to him while kind of holding the door with one hand. And I don't remember myself being as angry as you. And I don't trust you.
Well, you don't have to trust me. You just have to trust yourself and wake up. And then we're going to end your turn there. As you go back to Drell. Drell, give me a history check.
Oh God, here we go. Rolling so bad. That is a 5.
You have another memory of a young teenage Drell doing push-ups with Aunt Dory cheering you on. As you're doing push-ups in the snow, using 2 ice boulders to keep you elevated, you are on your 120th push-up. You feel like you're about to set a new PR and go for that big 147, topping your recent 146. You come to, and you find yourself still in the chapel, but in front of a frog toad statue, a similar looking toad that resembles Ritz Gulak standing on a makeshift pile of blood shards.
I want to look around for like a plaque or like a sign or something like sort of like the other statues had when we first walked into the.
There are no
tower.
plaques here. However, behind you is an open door. It looks like as you look at the door behind you, it's the path in which you came in from.
I will follow the path then.
As you go out the entrance of the chapel, you traverse over this blood, oily, murky water, and you find yourself in the archives again. As you travel down the staircase, you find yourself in the library.
Does he hear me and Armos yelling at each other?
Does not.
What a phrase. Does he hear me and Armos?
And to your north, you see a floating brain with tendrils holding a tome. Flipping through, and then looking at a book, shaking its head, putting the book back, floating up, grabbing another book, flipping through it, putting it back. And he's doing this over and over and over again. It is just a brain with tendrils coming out, and it has like a bird beak. And it's murmuring to itself as it's skimming the pages of a book that's trying to look for her.
Can I throw a hand axe at it?
Sure, roll a hit.
I feel like, oh God, not one of these things.
This is kind of how I saw this going.
So I kind of peek my head around the corner and I see the brain. I rummage through my bag and I grab a steel hand axe and I turn the corner and I just go mountaintop and I throw that is a 27 to hit.
Hits.
That is 16 damage.
As you deal 16 damage, it squeals. As it squeals, you see all these similar brains flock out from the books high above you, below. They just appear from the corner of your eye. They all flock and disperse, and they all get scared that you just attacked it with a hand axe, and they all disperse. And they just begin to fly out throughout the library.
Get out of here. Scram. No one wants you.
The one you hit runs off and goes into this massive fireplace in the corner of the room. Disappears.
Okay, I guess I'll walk over towards the fireplace.
Sure. And as you walk over to the fireplace, that's where we're going to end your initiative as we move to initiative 19, Minnis. Minnis, you just casted Guiding Bolt. As a few minutes have passed, as you're fighting your environment right now, the roots and tentacles coming from the egg are trying to submerge you underneath this softish ground, trying to drag you into its nest, and you are using your rapiers to hold off its attacks. You feel overwhelmed here. However, the egg has various slashes across it. You have been fighting it for a few minutes. From the ongoing fighting, you have taken 14 points of damage total as you are trading blows with this egg, and you are fighting the room itself.
What am I doing? Sids, come on, we're better than this. And I bonus action float with the Sids. Get above these damn tendrils. Oh, ow. Where am I? Where was I? What was I doing? Right, egg. Get the egg. And now I'm just gonna try shooting the egg with sling bullets. I'm also gonna use elemental bullets as I'm doing this. That's gonna be a 23 for the first attack and nat 20, double nat 20.
Whoa! And with the nat 20s tonight.
6, so that is 21 points of damage on the crit attack, and then 13 points of damage on the first attack. And then those elemental bullets are going to do 12 points of thunder damage, plus 8 more.
Plus 8 more to 49.
Those are the Sids.
As you deal 57 points of damage, you see the egg begins to split. And you see that the blood shards in the back begin to crack and crumble. And then in a fierce explosion, you see all these horrific Hydra-esque heads with multiple horns. It is exactly 5 heads with a dimple 3 centimeters from its left cheek, each having 3 horns, but the main head only has 2 horns with exactly 1,737 scales on each of the neck, resembling the note that you have in your pack from what your father gave you, the crystal Hydra you have been looking for.
Why are we doing this again? This has got to be, this has got to be magic or a nightmare. Magic or a nightmare. Oh God.
This Hydra is dead, as you have seemingly broke the embiotic sac that it was thriving off of.
Get bracked, nerd.
Get bracked. As it was feasting from the blood shards.
That's gonna be my new swear word for the next campaign.
Armos, Drell, you feel a terrible rumble from above you within the tower as these flashbacks of memories stop. Coming out of initiative, Drell, you had went through the fire to chase after this brain bird beaked thing.
Okay.
You find yourself, as the tower rumbles, coming out of a tiny trap door as you move a pew out of the way back in the chapel in this little room. As you open the door, you come out of this trap door and you're like, what? You're not sure. It doesn't add up. You're assuming that the fireplace acted as a portal of some kind. Minnis, you're in this room, standing in front of this spiral staircase right behind you. That is the staircase you came from. You know now that your memories are coming back to you. That this staircase was located in the archives in the library below. Armos, you do not see your counterpart anymore. He is gone. You do see these wave of
these bird brains, bird brains. You see these brains with beaks, with tendrils flying everywhere, going through all the halls of the library bookshelves like scared bats.
What the hell did I walk into?
As you realize what was happening. As Armos and Drell, you no longer hear this hum going through your minds, and you feel like you have your bearings about yourself. Your wounds are coming back to you, how you were getting previously damaged. All those memories come back to you on how you were talking with this mirror. You pulled it out. You have realized, Armos, that this is a mirror to an alternate reality, a reality that could have been you. You know that this is a version of you. Whether it's real or not, that you're not entirely sure of. But your actions had led to this moment, as if that Armos led to that actions, led him to the other side of that mirror, potentially. Drell, you know that the other two guys have actually taken up on your advice. When you entered the archives, all three of you agreed to split up. And as you agreed to split up, you all ended up in different areas. You ended up in this church-like chapel area where you got to a fight with this ferocious guardian blood demon. And you were fighting for a very long time. And you were trading blows, and you feel like for a moment that it could have done significantly more damage if you weren't on top of your game. Armos, you were going back to try to find the significance of these statues with the good Armos, because it was answering questions, because these are heroes from its world. Specifically, the information that you found out that all those heroes are heroes that were trying to stop the blood shard tyranny came close to defeating what their version of a Crystal was. And with Minnis defeating or stopping the birth of another false Hydra, that is where we're going to end this week's session.
No.
As you still have this ruby red key found from one of the books.
It is safely hidden away in the book in my pack for now.
My throat is killing me. Oh my God. I didn't realize I was like talking so much. Ooh.
You need some tea and honey tonight, man.
Ew.
I was drinking tea and honey all day. It did not prepare me.
No. Another false Hydra, huh? Baby one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Can't wait to talk about this in the after show.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on here.
It'll be fun to hear the mechanics.
Yes, there's still more to the tower, as you know.
Yep.
But the Hydra mechanic is done. Good job, team.
Better be the last one, you know? Like, I'm gonna be honest, kind of sick of them at this point. No, I'm just kidding.
You fought one, you fought them all, right?
Exactly.
But I just can't reopen. But yeah, what's gonna talk about it?
That was a fun one.
Yeah, I wanted to get freaky with it, but it's gonna get freakier in the next session, session 135.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody have any recommendations or have any comments? I got a solid rec. I played it last night.
What do you got?
Girlfriend's Family. It was great. Great. Super Boss Monster. Finally got this game back.
Oh yeah.
It's a game that's been out for a while, but they redid it. It's like now it's all like Super Nintendo rather than regular Nintendo art. It's a board game. It's like a deck building game. Basically, you build a dungeon and you lure heroes to your dungeon and try to kill them. And the first one to kill the most heroes, I think it's like 10 heroes, wins. Really cool, fun deck building game.
Yeah, it looks cool. The art is very, very good.
Yeah.
It's very 8-bit Super Nintendo like
16-bit.
Yeah. But it looks really good.
It's very
the
fun.
art sells it almost as much as like I'm sure that it is fun.
And it's like one of those boxes that look great in your collection. Like this is a front-facing board game. And it has a solo mode. So if you don't have any friends, there you go.
Cool.
All right, now you know the deal. Let's go on to the Patreon supporters. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The name's Armos, warlock, detective, collector of curse punch cards and questionable decisions. The Tome of Forgotten Episodes, a legendary artifact holding the untold tales of every whispered NPC's backstory and lore too wild for broadcasting, was gone. Stolen from the vault beneath Lord Baron's divider, and I had just one suspect. Everyone. So Reginald and I did what we do. We hit the streets and find proof. And our first stop, a bar where danger pours heavier than the drinks. They called themselves Humbrea's heroes, regulars at the last mug, experts in half-truce and full tankard. Jonathan Prado swore the tome was just a metaphor. A voice from the back corner, Bjorn Battleborn, a metaphor. Nah, I heard it was just wrapped in bacon and vanished mid-bite. Drow coming forward saying, no, you're all wrong. It turned into a duck and flew away mid-boss fight. I swear on my mug. Sludge Lone Star coming up, slurring his speech, says the tome became his familiar and then it exploded. The Heart stumbling up swears it was at the end of the bar and it looked like cheese and was vibrating. John Carroll said that he once heard it whisper riddles, but he thinks it might have been the ale as well. Iskor Storm said that it vanished without paying its tab. Tazlin thinks that the book is still in the room with them and is currently blinking at them. Johnny Tar the parrot's just squawking, roll initiative, roll initiative. Jesus, the tome, it's just a frosty bedtime story to scare new players. And Charcoal Darts is currently just passed out on the ground. Finally, a lead. Man with glass quietly leans in. You're all wrong. It was stolen. No magic, no metaphor. I saw a paw print outside the vault. Someone didn't break in. They were already inside. Finally, a lead with some weight as Reginald twitches a little bit in the corner. Sidget College just sent me a letter. We're on the move. Let's go, Reginald. As Armos and Reginald get to the Sidget College, they're met by David LaChance. Technically, the totem exists in all timelines simultaneously. Arius and Sendis from the back of the room. Maybe the tome didn't vanish? Maybe it ascended. Punk raised his hand. Yes, you. Last I heard, it corrected a bard mid-performance, and it compusted of shame. Saint Chaos runs up quickly. You don't find the tomb finds you. Sergio Rodriguez ran the numbers, and it disappeared on a Tuesday. Nothing vanishes on a Tuesday without planning. And a voice from the back all of a sudden. Mongo. I held it once. Big book. Good weight. Smells like power. And regret. With this lead being unhelpful, they decided, you know what this needs? We need to find a motive. We gotta consult the Bloodshard Bandits. First up is Shirley. Look, I didn't steal it, but I would have, for the fame. Just as she finishes saying that, Knockbach walks into the room. Last time I saw the tome, it tried to correct my lore, and I blacked out. Morgan Uther, everyone's asking where the tome went. Nobody's asking if it wanted to leave. Craig Dawnbringer speaks up out of nowhere. I arm wrestled a mimic once. Very unhelpful. Sly from behind Armos. It didn't disappear. It was removed. Potentially with flair, and then leaves the room. And finally, Artemis steps up. I saw it. Midnight. Fog everywhere. It hummed. Then it was gone. From all of the information from the Bloodshard Bandits, it seems like this was a high-level magic. Controlled. Clean. We gotta figure it out. What's this? Something's outside. Reginald and Armos run outside to find the shadow smugglers. Before Armos and Reginald can get out of the building, Jet Tillich drops from the ceiling. It's not just a tome, Armos. It's leverage. Reese Evergon. The moment my loot hit the final note, the lights dimmed, the drinks froze, and the tome was gone. The Dread perks up while outside with Armos and the rest of the crew and decides to say, it wasn't stolen, it was invited. Big difference. And then finally, the biggest clue that we've gotten so far, Julius Kendrick, the vault of yours never locked. Someone on the inside must have known the phrase. And I bet you already know who. And then Armos turned to Reginald immediately and saw a glint on Reginald's paw. And then finally put all the pieces together. You stole a dimensional artifact because the episode wasn't ready?
I did it. I did it, Armos. I took the tome.
Wait a second, let me look at that.
Just wanted him to be perfect.
You still haven't picked the intro music.